actually spoke about and dressed people with the same alopecia problem for us in the conference in 2017. She was part of my conference.
Yeah, it was a beautiful place to be.
Yes, thank you. Her daughter and she was very much part of the conference. And whenever we've met with fun, joy, laughter. She's been a student of Meta Health. I think she did level 1 and then didn't continue further, which is absolutely okay. Everybody's path is different. We did meet a few times at Pizzeria. I am a very social person, yet I sometimes am really stuck with time. And probably I should stop doing so much of saving people and sit down and socialize more. So I'm actually really thinking at some point when all this gets done, I must take a whole month off for myself where I don't do any work and completely shift into an Ayurvedic center or go outside the country and just get massages, detox, healing, masti, and I will do it.
That was
Because
your reading today.
that is my tonic. And yeah, but right now duty calls, and right now there are too many people in huge issues, and I did not take I cannot tell you how thankful I am that everybody connected together across the world, and they're still connecting together, and they're speaking about their life, because at some point, Juthika, I realized healing therapies are healing therapies.
Yes.
But what you can learn from a whole human being, you can never learn from a part of him. We don't say, like Rahi said, hair is just part of her. I wanted to know the whole of Rahi, and I want to know the whole of Juthika. So we introduce to you the next speaker of the day, and the next speaker of the day is Juthika D'Cruz, and she'll be talking about femininity. Isn't it amazing how two topics just synced together? And that's what Universe has been doing. There was someone else who was supposed to be speaking today. I've given her the forum on another day because her topic didn't fit in well here. And I asked Juthika to speak instead. Thank you, Juthika.
Thank you, Anu. It's
I
absolutely
know.
my pleasure to be here. You
How
can.
nervous? How nervous?
Huh? Don't remind me. Just let me keep talking.
Okay. Go ahead.
You can fill in the gaps when I start faltering, okay?
देखो वो ना लास्ट टाइम हुआ था ना अब होने वाला है. आप जब एक बार बोलना शुरू करोगे तो आपको चुप कराना मुश्किल होगा.
मुझे तो पता भी नहीं चला आपने रिकॉर्ड कब कर लिया वो. मैं तो बस बातें कर रही थी आपके साथ.
And put it also on the Facebook.
Yeah, वो मैंने आज सवेरे देखा. I saw it this morning and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my God. With all the editings. Okay. So go ahead and let's hear what Juthika has to talk about femininity. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu, for giving me this platform to introduce femininity to everybody. I'm not going to introduce myself. There are labels and qualifications galore, but they are just that. Ultimately, it all boils down to us being human beings, not even a man and a woman, but human beings. And somewhere along the line, taking a cue from Rahi's talk, we have somewhere lost our femininity, not just the women, but also the men. Now you'll be wondering, like, why men and femininity? But yeah, it works both ways. We have a left brain and we have a right brain, right? So the left is the masculine and the right is the feminine. The left is the logical part of us. The right is the creative, artistic part of us. So we have the masculine and the feminine both in each one of us. And we are the co-creators of our own life. What is happening in this COVID situation right now? We have been shunted into the corners like truant little children who are told to face the wall and stand until and think what has. I mean, you tell a child, right? Face against the wall and sit over there and think about what you have done. Don't you think the universe has done exactly the same thing to us? We have been shunted into a corner, made to sit down, and made to think what we have done, where we have gone wrong, and how we have misused or abused the natural gifts that have we have been taken for granted for so many, not years, for centuries actually, isn't it? So the whole tilt between the masculine and the feminine has been in more favor of the masculine energies. To make you more sensitive, or like, to make you understand it better, I'd like to take you all through a small visualization. So if you all would close your eyes.
Okay.
All right, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in once more, and as you breathe out, just relax. Breathe in and breathe out all anxiety and all kinds of uneasiness, and just relax. I now invite you to visualize yourself holding a chalice or a cup in your hand. You may even choose to see this cup in a larger form, with you sitting in the center of it. It could be like a wine cup or a wine glass where you're sitting in the center of this empty cup. Your glass may be transparent, or it could be opaque. It could be made of metal, or it could be made of glass, or it could be made of crystal. Whatever you choose, it's your glass, it's your chalice, and you're sitting in the center of it. And now you see certain energies pouring in from the top. You see it cascading down, hurtling down towards you, where you are seated in the center. You see indecisiveness. You see mistrust falling down around you. You see the rat race hurtling around you. You see uncertainty, insecurity just pouring into this cup. You see miscommunication. You see cutthroat competition. You see animal cruelty all rushing into your cup. And you see a lot of commercial activities, a lot of negative media, the news, the war, the hatred, the inequality, and your cup is filling up and filling up. And it keeps filling up until it begins to overflow. You see more of it flowing in, a lot of deforestation, lack, poverty, ego, everything just cramming in. And there's more diseases, and there's loneliness, and there's illness, and there's stress, and there's desire and wanting. And you're walked down at the bottom of the cup with all this piled up high on your head. And as you want to struggle, as you keep struggling for breath, you get up and you flay your hands and you flay your legs and you make a movement and it all explodes. The chalice explodes and you just want to get free, and the whole cup explodes with vehemence. And as it all disperses around you, dispersing into thin air, you begin to breathe again, feeling light and more peaceful. Now, as you meditate on what happened, your desires and your wantings change to oneness. And as you ask for more love, more peace, joy, harmony, and as you keep wanting all these things, slowly these start trickling into your cup. The more you desire these kind of beautiful, sensitive, and lovely feelings, the more of it keeps flowing into your cup. Togetherness, oneness, abundance, all flowing in beautifully, circling around you and rising up and filling up your cup, your chalice. There's more satisfaction coming in, fulfillment of dreams coming in, and divine connections, contentment, growth, self esteem, confidence. Your chalice, your cup is getting fuller and fuller with visions, with cooperation, with feel good factors, with generosity, with friendship, with support, with help, and your own individuality nicely blending with all these wonderful qualities around you. And as your cup slowly keeps filling right up till the brim, it gently overflows, trickling out and around the base of the chalice. Outside, where there are smaller cups, and the gently flowing streams of goodness fill those other cups and manifest a beautiful world around you. Floating in this water, swimming in this water, or just diving deep into it. It's like being in your mother's womb, safe and secure. This is your sacred space, the womb of your mother, the womb of the earth, the womb of the universe. And your cup overflows with goodness. There is more goodness around you. Enjoy this beautiful feeling. Take in all the goodness into your body, in every cell, in every molecule. Hold it in, revel in it. Feel beautiful inside out. Slowly, as and when you feel comfortable, you may then open your eyes and come back to the room that you were seated in and began this journey from.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Everybody's back. Thank you, Arno. How's everybody feeling? Give you a moment to come back.
I think I felt asleep in between.
That's okay.
I think I did.
Oh, that's fine. That's okay. It would have, your subconscious would have still gone through the entire process.
Yeah.
So yes, that's okay. How are you feeling though?
Great. I felt a little bit of heaviness here, and now I'm feeling much lighter.
So you would have probably felt the Easiness before or after?
Easiness now, very
Uneasy.
heavy, uneasiness in between. Felt the
Okay.
heaviness and uneasiness in between.
Okay.
Now I'm much lighter, yes.
Okay. So what would you say? The first experience was, the first chalice was good, or the second chalice was good?
The second.
The second one. So you were more comfortable. Your body started becoming more comfortable with the second chalice. Is that right? Okay. Great. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else?
Anybody else would like to share?
Kiran? So gayi?
I saw a lot of colors.
Okay.
Lot of colors I saw. Just flowing and flowing and flowing. Beautiful colors.
Okay.
Like I'm not so much of a color person. Like I wear mostly the solids. I found this lots of colors coming in.
Okay.
They were pouring in from the big chalice until the little one.
Okay.
Three of colors. Like I didn't find it anything like it was bad or negative. It was just the colors were flowing in.
Okay. So how did you feel when the other chalice, other cups were getting filled with your
I was
goodness?
happy for them. I was happy for them.
Yeah.
Filled with all the colors, like like a splash when you see this, like the one color. It was fuchsia pink, it was turquoise blue, my favorite color. There was white, there was yellow, there was green,
Nice.
and it was nice. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So anybody else would like to share?
I would like to share, Jyotika.
Yes, please, Rahi.
Because of the first chalice, it was as if my internal negative thoughts or negativity was magnetized to come outside, and it was all, when you asked us to release those, they just went away, and the second chalice just relaxed me and I'm feeling very, very fresh just now. Very fresh.
I'm glad. I'm so glad that
Thank you so much.
I didn't want to leave you all with the feeling of that uneasiness. Like, yeah. So can you see there's a distinct difference between the first and the second chalice, right? So what happens when something that is not in congruence with our life, with our natural way of being, when it becomes in excess, it has a way of exploding, right? Even in Meta, we do realize that, like, we do learn that anything that is in excess, it all comes out in the form of diseases, isn't it? When the body is not able to contain it any longer, it breaks out in the form of diseases, right? So this is exactly what is happening in today's world. There is the first chalice was a lot of masculine energy. There is divine masculine, but it has been corroded and corrupted to such an extent that it had to explode. And this is what the COVID situation has brought to the fore, the explosion. And now we need to fill our lives, our chalice, our cup of life, with an energy that is more feminine, that is more gentle. From competition, we have to move to cooperation. And that is what femininity is all about. You were happy, like even Kiran, you were happy when you were giving your goodness to others, right?
Yeah, of course.
That
And
is
in
the,
fact, Jyotika, just I want to tell because, and of course, it's to make you feel at ease also.
yeah.
While you were speaking about being a man and a woman, the masculinity and the femininity. Okay, now we have it in us, like we are more of men. Like me,
Right.
I know you, even with Kimia. Now I think even with Rai,
Hmm.
the male chromosomes, the Y chromosomes are more into us now. Have you noticed one thing, Anu and Jyotika, that these days whenever we see the crime rates or whatever, it's mostly the men who are at fault. औरतों के crimes बहुत कम हो रहे हैं,
Uh,
है ना?
Kiran, what I'm
बहुत कम दिखा
see what
रहे जो लोग crime कर रहे हैं.
that's okay. That's the I know I don't really watch the news, but the thing is, like, you're right. But over here we are not talking about the men and the women. We are talking about the masculine energies and the
Exactly.
feminine energies. So the qualities that were there in the first chalice are the masculine qualities. Competition, okay, that is a very, men are competitive, right? They're told to be competitive right from childhood. They have been taught to be that way. They are taught to be winners. Even children are told, my daddy is strongest. So there's a competitive streak there. Whereas women are more about cooperation. Women are supposed to keep the family together, keep the community together. So we have to cooperate not just with our families, but with our extended families and also with our community and also at office and wherever we go, right? So feminine, and it comes naturally to women. So it is a feminine quality which was there in the second chalice. So what you're saying, I understand that it is reported that men are more into doing these crimes. But that's only because their masculine energies have been pushed to an extent where it comes to an explosive state. If a woman also comes to that kind of an explosive state using her masculine energies, a woman can also be aggressive. A woman can also get into crime. A woman can also kill. A woman can also be thieving or go rioting or like morchas and stuff and all. So that is also a masculine energy. But somewhere we learn to control ourselves. We learn to cooperate. We learn to give in. And that is the beauty of the femininity.
And one classic example now we have here is Anu, 190 episodes. And she's, like it's not just two speakers, she's bringing in everybody together. We've got Binefa, we've got Aarti, we've got Archana, we've got everybody. Like it's been 190 episodes till today, and it's
Yeah,
bond because she knows how to blend people, right, Anu?
absolutely.
I wonder, with due respect here to all the male, but if they would be able to conduct it so well, giving each
I,
person a chance to talk, mushkil hota tha. I don't think
they
it would
would.
be that. She's
They
balancing
would.
it so well. Every speaker is important.
Yeah.
So thank you
But
for
that's
acknowledging. But this is like, as I said, a forum which is just run because it is not for a man or a woman. It's for us.
Yes.
you
It
have
is
bounded
our.
so well, Anu. You have bounded
Thank,
so well.
thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the beauty of being a woman. Okay. It's actually, it's not that men cannot do this. Men can do it. Men can also do it. But they are better at organizing. They are better at planning. They are better at the logical stuff. Okay. If a man had to conduct this kind of a series of workshops, they would probably do it in a more logical format कि ये and in a structural format कि ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. This is how it has to be. But Anu, being a woman, she very nicely plays both the aspects of her personality, the masculine and the feminine. She organizes it so beautifully. She plans it beautifully. She sets all the steps in sequence. And yet, there is a flexibility to the entire process, right? So, flexibility is the feminine aspect that she brings to the entire program. The organization, the planning, and the structure is the masculine aspect that she lends to the entire program. And when she becomes flexible, when she allows people to be themselves, when she gives them the space to talk and be themselves, that is her feminine beauty. So in today's time, in COVID times, we have been put in a situation where we are now to understand or realize where we have been in excess, where our masculine energies have gone overboard and exploded in our faces. The excessive commercialization that is happening, the excessive aggression, the warfare, uh, and there are so many other aspects of economics that have become in such, how do you say, it has all gone so overboard. Commercialization has not remained ethical as such. It has gone beyond that. It has become a greed. And that is where the explosion happens. Again, when it comes to women, women are more, or rather, the feminine aspect is more subtle. It's more forgiving. It's more, when a woman does, like when a woman does business, probably she will be more giving. It won't be a cutthroat competition for her. She will be more in a cooperative mode. You see, women's cooperatives, NGOs, and all, these are all cooperations. We work hand in hand together. Women's groups work hand in hand together. They cooperate with each other. Men's groups, the masculine energy, is all about being the best, being in competition with each other. So that is where we have gone in excess, and we need to find that. We have lost that sensitivity. We have lost that humanity. Look at the cruelty to animals that is happening rampantly all over the world. It is one thing to say that, okay, I'm not going to eat non-veg food. But the way it has been exploited, the whole commerce, the whole business of animal produce, the way it has been exploited, it has extended to a level of cruelty to the animals. And those are the energies that we start absorbing when we eat non-veg. So again, the excess of masculine aggressiveness is becoming rampant. So to balance this, we need to bring in the feminine energies of love, compassion, cooperation, oneness, and all these sensitive qualities. So how do we begin this? It's okay to say, like, okay, the government is not doing this, and the people are not, BMC is not doing this, and the big business houses are like doing the things that they are doing which are not right and all. Okay, but what are we doing at our own level? We are a drop in the ocean, but again, we also need to understand that we are the ocean itself. Each drop contributes to making the entire ocean. So if we try and bring about that balance of masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, we will be emitting that energy first within ourselves. Second, we will extend it to our families. Then we extend it to our neighborhood. And those energies keep growing then to the community and to the city and to the country and so on and so forth. So at our personal level, we need to balance these energies, bringing in the femininity. Right now, even women have become more masculine. Take, for example, the feminist movement. It is seen as a man-hating movement, right? Why has it taken that form of man-hating? Why is it seen as a man-hating movement? Because feminism is very aggressive. Feminism is like in your face. Women want to like throw off their bras, burn their bras, walk and parade nude. What for? To say that I'm equal to a man, or to say that I can do whatever I want? But are we, when feminists do this, Are they doing it out of an emotional vacuum, out of an emotional outburst, or are they doing it because they believe that they are beautiful? Mostly it is to spite men. It is to spite patriarchy. It is to spite the others, saying that like, okay, I will do what I want. But where is the beauty in it? Where is the sensitivity in it? They are when they are being feminist, when they are being aggressive, they are being loud, they are again coming from a very masculine energy. Somewhere women, in their quest to look for equality with men, have actually become like men. We have forgotten to how it is to be a woman. What are the innate qualities of a woman? What are the innate uh, feminism, femininity that we have within ourselves? Understand, feminism or feminist movement is different from femininity. The feminist movement is very hardcore, and the femininity is a very gentle aspect of every human being, not just of a woman. Even men have this feminine aspect in them, but they are not allowed to express their feminine side. From childhood, they are told that you're a boy, you shouldn't cry. Why are you running like a girl? Why are you behaving like a girl? All these things make them feel small and make them want to be more macho, make them want to be more aggressive, because that's the only way they feel they can show that they are masculine. So the future generations, beginning with ours, we will have to teach them that expressing your emotions, expressing or being kind to your wife or mother or child, or showing your emotional side is not weakness. It is a real part of being a human being. So femininity is a part of a man as well. So what I'm saying is, like, we all need to find that balance within ourselves. Observe and see from where are you operating. Whether you're constantly in a doing mode, or are you also operating from your sensitive side. When we operate from both the sides in balance, that's when there'll be harmony in our mind, body, and soul. And slowly it'll extend to our families, and it'll extend to the larger community. So any questions so far?
Any questions so far? No.
No? Okay. So why are we wanting to do this? Why do we need to do this? Bring about the balance at ourselves. Because the world, the earth itself has shown us that this imbalance is not acceptable in the future. The earth is moving from a 3D existence, three-dimensional existence, to a fifth dimensional existence. And we are in a transition phase right now. The 3D existence, which we have been living all this time, was the first chalice, where um, it is all about duality. And the 5D existence, which will be culminated in 2030, that is a dimension where the earth is moving to, we are transiting to that time, and that is a phase of oneness. So from duality, we are moving to oneness. So technically, we are in the 4D phase, the transition phase, where we have all started awakening. We have started remembering who we are and what we need to do to move or to better our lives and that of humanity at large. 3D existence has all been about living in the victimhood mode, where we say that like this happened to me, and that is why I react in this manner. 4D is about taking responsibility. When you stop operating out of a victimhood mode and say, okay, this is this happened to me, but I choose to respond to the situation not in a manner which is harmful to either party. You're understanding what I'm saying? It is all about taking responsibility for our own actions. And moving to 5D would be all about becoming one with everyone around us. First, with our own selves, when we um, balance our masculine and feminine within ourselves, we become one with our own selves. We become whole and complete. We don't depend on the other to complete us. When we are lacking in one aspect of our personality, either the masculine or the feminine, we are looking for that fulfillment from another man or another woman to fulfill us. But when we balance ourselves, our own masculine and feminine, that's when we are able to feel whole and complete and not be dependent on another for our own happiness and for our own um, harmony.
Right. I think Kamya has got a question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, Kamya.
Just unmute yourself. Kimia.
Kimya, you're still muted, darling.
Hi, Jyotika.
Yeah, Kimya, tell me.
Okay, Jyotika. Actually, I've been trying to understand with due respect to whatever you have spoken till now,
Yeah.
but I'm somehow not being able to connect exactly what are you talking on feminine and masculine. So I have
Okay.
just one question.
Okay.
Because I've heard a lot now in this conversation about everything feminine, masculine energy, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Just a humble question is that, according to you,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know if anyone else agrees to this, but according to you, who is the role model of a total feminine person?
See, there's nothing like total feminine. Okay. Like I said, there's a masculine and a feminine in each one of us. So it's all about being whole and complete, balancing your masculine and feminine sides. When you
So
operate,
who's your role model? Who's your role model? So that I can look forward to that person then.
or from the top of my head, I would say that the leader of this country, Anu, help me out here.
PK is brilliant.
The first country who was able to beat COVID, they have a lady leader.
I guess then on this platform you should have said it's Anu Mehta, none other than her. Isn't
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
It's not flattering Anuji, but she deserves it.
Yeah. But I guess I did mention this when what's her name? When Kiran mentioned about Anu, I did say that Anu is operating from her masculine as well as a feminine side. So yeah, Anu would be a role model for that. So Anu would be a perfect example for that. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you have anybody else in mind who operates in that fashion?
I think it's got frozen, Anu. The screen has got frozen.
Have you got frozen, my dear? I can see you moving. Maybe.
Me?
Yeah, just say something, Jyotika.
Yeah. You can hear me?
I think Kimia, what she's trying to say is that each one of us have the male and the female within us.
Yes.
And either we are too aggressive or we are too nurturing. Like in Rahi's case, she was too nurturing. and that creates an imbalance. Like in some people, they're always angry, working. That will create an imbalance. So somewhere we need to have a more complete personalities rather than being just a male or a female.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these personal imbalances are contributing to the global imbalance. So when we
Yes.
start balancing at our own level, we will again be contributing to the global balance, which has totally gone haywire at this point of time. There is an
Yeah.
overdose of masculine energy in the universe, globally, isn't it? So, like I said, charity begins at home. So we need to start doing that at our own personal level, finding out exactly where we stand and how we can do this for ourselves. There are a lot of healers, there are a lot of transitional personalities that have come into the picture now who are helping humanity to make this transition from 3D to 5D. So, yeah, we all need to start working on that and be our best version of ourselves instead of waiting for somebody else to come and fill our chalice, to fill our cup. We are all capable of filling our own cup. Only we need to understand where and how to begin. So,
Wonderful.
I would like to ask something.
yes,
Please
right.
go ahead.
Could you give us some sites where we can read something about this, about the transition which is happening?
About the shift,
Yeah.
yeah, there is a book. I will post it on the group.
Okay.
Okay. It gives beautiful details about how the shift is happening. It started in 2012 when they said that the world is coming to an end, right? So it was actually a period where the whole transition was to begin, and the transition is going to culminate in 2030.
Okay.
So until then, expect a lot of upheavals and a lot of adjustments and uh, things that will, like, help you to move to a 5D phase.
Okay.
So when we heal our own selves, when we heal our thoughts, when we heal our emotions, when we heal our body, when we heal our mind, that's when we are able to move that we are able to make this transition in a more smoother manner. When we are not in harmony within our own selves, then this transition becomes very difficult. Then we are constantly at loggerheads with ourselves and with each other. We are struggling to make life, um, we are struggling to make ends meet. We are struggling to keep our relationships. We are struggling to um, make a living, earn money, and so many other things. It's a constant struggle. But when we balance ourselves, then this transition becomes more smooth because we are in harmony with the universe. We are in rhythm with the universe. We are all natural human beings, right? We are natural beings. And we have somewhere forgotten our connection to the earth, our connection to the nature, our connection to the universe. There's a lot more that I can speak about all this, but because of the paucity of time, we are going to have to cut this short over here. But yeah, I have a Red Tent group that is for ladies. I post a lot of stuff over there. So if any one of you all would like to join over there and get more information about how and what we are moving towards, I'll be happy to, like, send you all an invite for that. Okay. So any
Yes.
questions?
So any questions, guys? Any
Jyotika,
questions?
once again, Kimia here. Jyotika,
Yeah, Kimia.
I just want to know because I'm getting quite interested in this feminine and masculine. Since you have been practicing this, I'm sure
Yes,
you
yes,
must have identified your own as well.
absolutely. I have
So
been
can you give me a
operating.
hint of how did you identify your masculine energies? What is your
Uh,
masculine energy, I would say, that you can identify with?
I have been operating, when I look back on my life, I have been operating a lot from my masculine side. I have always been like kind of a go-getter, always been kind of like, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. Constantly like living in the doing mode. Okay,
What is it?
you can hear me?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay, so you're confused by what I'm saying about the doing mode, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
we as women also do a lot more?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant when I said that women have also become like men. Okay, there's a lot to a woman that she can do by just being herself. Men and women both are co-creators on this planet, and men do it by doing things with logic, with structure, and reasoning. Women do it with their intuition and with their creative and artistic ways of being. It's actually very interesting to note that women need not struggle to manifest anything in their lives. For women, actually, it is very, very God given gift to manifest anything beautifully and smoothly in their own lives and in the lives of their loved ones, their families, and uh, the entire community. Men have to struggle a lot. Now, this might sound very contradictory to you because largely everybody says ki like, okay, men have it easy and women have to struggle to make a living. But that's exactly it. We are struggling to become like men. If we were to be women, if we were to operate from our feminine side, the struggle wouldn't be so hard. It would be a much more smoother journey for us.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I feel, sorry, I just want to say
Yeah.
that on a very lighter note, on a very plain note, there's nothing
Hmm.
about the universe and everything. We are born, like we as women, we are born
Hmm.
as women. We grow up in that atmosphere.
Hmm.
Many of them are very lucky to have a very subtle and a very good life, no adversities, and they are the feminine. It's few of them like us, like Anu knows how it is.
Hmm.
When we are put into the sea of sharks and you are made to swim, forget hydrophobia.
We have to.
That is when the male side of you comes up.
Absolutely.
That is a way it is to survive. That is when you
Absolutely.
realize that I have it in me, and that me is the male instinct that you have. When you are facing on head on, you are paying your electricity bills.
Yes.
Deep inside, the right side of us is there. We are still women, and I would like to be that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking about me now. Like I'm that very sweet, very nice child, like a feminine person. But then where I have to pay the bills, the left side comes up. In fact, I'll
Absolutely.
tell you, Anu, a few
Yes.
years ago, I had got this frozen shoulder, and
Mm-hmm.
I went to the orthopedic, and I got those 3 injections what they put up, in between the bones. And that day he
Mm-hmm.
put up a sling and he told me you should not move your left hand. It's for a 24-hour. Like, that day I realized I was more of a lefty. I could not open the sugar jar, the tea jar. I was holding the cup, and that's when I realized my left side was more active. Although I write with the right, that made me realize, and that was, of course, it's all this time that when the male traits in us they take over. And there are
Mm-hmm.
many women who even envy or they look up to us and they tell, आपका तो कितना अच्छा है ना, आप तो सब कर लेते हो.
That is the balance we have
We don't have
created
a
within
choice, yeah,
ourselves.
and we don't
That
have
is
a
the
choice
balance
for
we have
that,
created ourselves.
and we don't have a choice. We have to be that male. Even we would love to be the subtle, feminine, BB, but no, we are not the chosen ones. The male streaks are there in every woman, but then when they come to the adversities, when they face that comes out in the open, and that takes over because it is the matter of survival of the fittest.
Yes.
That's when you have to be that thing. So I think it's always there in both. It's there in us. Even
It
the
is there.
men, of course, they cry, and it's nice to cry.
but they're not
Which shows
allowed.
how empathetic they are. Like,
We say
I
that
think they've moved
women,
on now. Nowadays, men cry. They do cry. They come to me and they cry, and I said, yeah, it's being normal. तुम्हारे पास दिल तो है.
yeah,
At least that male ego is not there. That they are speaking and they are feeling good about it, and they really like to cry. They're being human. They're
that's the
being
shift
normal.
that is happening. That is
That's
exactly
it.
the shift
The
I'm
world has
talking
changed
about.
a lot. Even bra burning was at least 2 decades ago. It's no longer there now.
It's
Now
no
women,
longer there. Okay.
no, it's not
But
longer
still, you
there.
see in the
2 decades
Western
ago.
culture, if you see Instagram and if you see certain BBC posts and stuff and all, you will see that a lot of women are resorting to abusive language, to nudity, and like, you know, a lot of stuff that is so aggressive. I mean,
They're probably oppressed. I think, see, even though we say India is still not that, but Indian women are far more progressive. They're far more intelligent, and they don't need to be, to demonstrate to be heard. Just conduct one show, you speak like it's happening to you and me and everybody over here. We are able to communicate, we're able to talk, speak our heart out, and knowing that our family is hearing everything that we're doing here.
yeah.
We are ready to face the camera, we are ready to be seen on the tube. No editions, no censorship, nothing. We have arrived.
But there are still pockets of societies where women can't even open their mouth.
They don't want to.
Yeah. So that is the whole shift that we need to bring about. So people like you, Anu, me, and everybody else on this group that is listening to us has that desire to make that shift. We are the people who are becoming aware and creating that awareness amongst others as well, so that we move to a better, harmonious way of living in the future, not just for ourselves, but even for our future generations. Isn't it?
Absolutely. We are complete.
Yeah.
We're complete. And I take pride in that. Yeah.
I'd like to read you a poem over here. It's a very long one, but I think I'll just read the first few verses of it. I think Kimia would probably understand more of what I've been trying to say all this time from this verses. The title of this poem I've written is There is no woman in today's women. Okay. The woman in me is afraid to show herself because her tears are seen as weakness, her laughter is seen as brash, and her beauty and her love a mere manipulative toy. The woman in me hides herself because they beat her when she's sensitive. They break her when she's strong, and when she's vulnerable, they play such games of ploy. The woman in me shrinks into the background because her victories are often ignored, her smallest defeats spoken much aloud, and a spirit of freedom forced to turn cold and coy. She cannot be bold nor be shy, but her beauty is open for all to pry. She must be fair and never be tan, but all her life she must toil more than a man. She must not speak nor bare her heart, just be seen and do her job. She must not ask nor add to her cart, just forego her rights and serve the mob. She must smile through her tears and never drop the smiling facade. She must take pride in multitasking, never mind, even if it's breaking her back. She has to be a sister, a daughter, a friend, a mother in law, an aunt, and a mom, a lover, a companion, a maid, a cook, a housekeeper, and even a grandmom. But they insist she's a witch. She's a bitch, a vampire, a ghost, and a mall. She's a psycho, a desperado, a lunatic, a demon, and a troll. She's a slut, a whore, a concubine, an escort, an arm candy, and a trophy wife. A slave, a prize, and also most often blamed to be the cause of every strife. For how long will they refuse to acknowledge the goodness of her tender heart? For how long will they refuse to give her the due recognition and deny her her path? For how long will they stop her from getting a fair hearing and clear head start? For how long will they pretend to give her equal rights and add the credits to a man's chart? For how long will they rape her of her joy? For how long will they continue to use her as a toy? For how long will they snigger at her and shame her for being a woman? For how long will they acid her face and force her to be like a man? The woman in me is speaking out from within and wondering when she can drop the show of being macho and overly masculine. The woman in me is yearning to be her in and wondering when she can finally play her role of the divine feminine.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. I think this was the best part of you, Jutika. It should have come right in the beginning. You've got taste of the, that fear of coming on the camera, what I heard. I
Yeah,
think this was the best part of your session. Really.
I'll send you the invite,
Great.
thank you,
Yeah,
Kimia.
I'm a part of a group, the Red Tent of Astara. So I'll send you the invite tomorrow, Kimia. So you join the group. It's a all females group. You join the
Oh,
group
great.
tomorrow.
Okay, I would love
I'll
to.
send you the invite. Yeah.
So, Kimia, I totally understand where you come from because when these kind of things are spoken about, we have become so logical in our thinking, which is a masculine aspect. We need reason for everything. We need a kind of like the specifics for everything. And that is where we deny ourselves our feminine aspect. The feminine is all about faith. It's all about divinity. It's all about the esoteric things that you seen that book, that big joke, where they, I mean, it's does the rounds of WhatsApp a lot. There's a thick book that they show how to understand a woman, and the pages get turned, all the pages are blank, right?
Okay.
That is exactly what femininity is about. It's so beautiful, it's divine, it's so divine that you have to connect with your inner self, with your inner goddess, with your inner being, with your intuitive self to actually start being. We are so
Wonderful.
called, yeah.
Just bringing to your notice, it's 11:42
Wow.
and it's time to say goodbye. And I'm just going to play a song for all of